Hey guys, Brad and Jazz here from AUSSIE Thrifters, and we're going to talk about some of the mistakes that we have made in our journey.
Because boy, we have made some mistakes.
Alright, let's get into it.
Hey everyone, back for another video. Just wanted to say hello to any new subscribers. So I know I picked up a few in the last kind of week or two, so welcome. Please stick around and stay tuned for some more great content. So today, this isn't just me in the video. I've actually got some other Australian resellers, and we're all going to be talking about the biggest mistakes that we made when we were starting out reselling. Everybody makes mistakes, and hopefully the idea behind this video is that by sharing the mistakes that we made, it's going to help you. So hopefully you don't make the same mistakes. Granted, everybody makes mistakes. We're all human. Nobody's perfect, but hopefully you can just learn from this information and it's going to help you. Hopefully you don't make the same mistakes. Probably you might make some slightly different mistakes. So, okay, firstly, for myself, I'd say probably the biggest mistake that I made when I started out reselling was not to really be conscious of looking items up and looking at the sell-through rates of items. So when I first started out, for whatever reason, I just picked up neckties.
Nice tie.
Silk ties. And so I still have a whole heap of those. I have sold some of them. It's not like I didn't sell any. I've sold a few, but I still have quite a few left. So I'd say that was kind of one of the things that when I was first starting out that for whatever reason I picked up. I don't know, maybe it was because I felt like other people weren't picking them up, and there's probably a reason for that. But that was one thing that I picked up when I first started out. Maybe another thing that I picked up would be mugs.
Mug life. You know how we live it. Mug life. Mug life.
I've got a whole heap of mugs that I haven't sold. I have still sold some mugs. There were a few mugs that seem to sell reasonably well. So I'd say Mr. Men mugs. I've sold a number of those. They sell pretty well. I wouldn't say they're fast movers. Definitely the right person will come along and they will buy one if you have one in your store. And if you can pick them up really cheap, it might be worth it. You know, you have to pay kind of more than a couple of dollars. It's probably not worth it. That would be the two things, I guess, that when I was starting out, I picked up. If I had my time again to go back, or knowing what I know now, probably wouldn't have picked them up, purely for the reason now I'm a lot more selective on the things that I pick up. When I'm looking or thinking about an item or just researching an item, whether it's worth me picking up, I will always look at the sold comps for the last 90 days. If there's no sales in the last 90 days, that would be one of the factors that I would use to probably not pick an item up. Looking at what's sold in the last 90 days. So if there's been like a whole heap of sales in the last 90 days, then you could be pretty certain that you will see more sales if you price the item correctly. That would be my advice, is just really use that information that's available on the eBay app. Also TerraPeak, if you have a store and if you're on your desktop, then you have access to more information of the sales history for the last 12 months, which is even better. So I guess that would be my advice. Don't pick items up unless you know how well they sell. That would be it. And there's always exceptions to the rule. You might just know that something's going to sell, and sometimes I just know that something's going to sell. I pick it up and I'm pretty confident that it's going to sell. And then again, there's items that I just pick up. I don't bother looking them up. And then when I finally do look them up, the sales history isn't that great. Or items that I didn't look up, I pick them up and then they sit in my store for ages because there's no sales history for them. So yeah, so that would be it. Do your research and definitely look items up and use that information to determine whether you're going to pick an item up. Hey guys, I'm just going to throw to two Aussie thrifters now, and they're going to give you the two biggest mistakes that they made when they were starting out reselling.
A really big mistake we made right at the start, we did not use our custom SKU. We didn't really realize that it was going to be as big as it is, so we just chucked all of our stuff in a tub and thought, we'll know where it is. No, as soon as we got a few things in our store, we completely lost track of where anything was stored. So right from day dot, use your custom SKU and tell yourself where you are storing your things.
Second biggest mistake we made was not understanding sell-through rate. And what I mean by that is how many items are actually listed on eBay versus how many items have sold on eBay for that particular item that you are trying to comp. So if you look at a comp and you see that there's 50 listed and only 5 sold, then your sell-through rate on that is going to be quite slow. However, if you have 5 listed and 50 sold, then your sell-through rate on that item is going to be quite good as long as you price your item at market value. So that's our 2 biggest mistakes that we've made along our journey. I want to hear some more from you guys.
Okay, so there you go, guys. So I think it pays to plan ahead or to really be thinking ahead as far as you want to be organized straight from the beginning. You don't want to be unorganized because that's just going to get difficult. As soon as you start, have an idea of how you're going to store things, how you're going to organize your inventory, and that's going to make life a whole lot easier as you go forward. Cool, guys. So next up is Drew and Sarah from Look Mum I'm Hustling, and they're going to give you their tip right now.
So one of the biggest mistakes that we made when we first started reselling is not utilizing other platforms to their full potential. Obviously, everyone goes and uses eBay straight away, but we never really looked at other options, and we still really don't utilize Facebook and some of the other reselling platforms as much as we could.
100%, yeah. So especially for me, I definitely don't use my Depop to its fullest potential, but with the release of Poshmark and me sort of investing more time in that, I'm definitely seeing the benefit. So it's definitely a wasted potential for myself for that one.
Yeah, so it's all about looking at what platforms are out there and experimenting and not being afraid to get outside the box and get outside of eBay.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you want to maximize your fullest potential and get as many eyeballs on your item as possible. So you have all these different places or avenues that you can go down. And we forget, you know, eBay has that shining light. It's always that number one thing that people tend to go for, but there are other platforms and other opportunities.
So in short, basically our biggest reselling mistake at the start was not utilizing other platforms to their full potential and not investing the time into them and learning how to use them.
I really look forward to seeing what all the other resellers have to say so we can learn from them too.
Cool. So there you go. I think that's a great tip to keep in mind, that there are actually other platforms other than eBay. Why not explore them? So definitely there's Depop, there's Poshmark. If you're selling clothes, there's definitely other platforms for you to explore. So there's Facebook Marketplace, and there's no fees involved with selling on Facebook Marketplace. So that is another great thing. Potentially it could be the first platform that you try just to dip your feet, work things out before, if you don't already have an eBay store, going through everything that you have to do to set up an eBay account to be able to sell on eBay. And maybe that's a good first option. There's also Gumtree. You definitely have a couple of different avenues to explore before you start with eBay potentially. Okay, guys. So now we're going to throw to Judder, and he's going to give you his tip.
The biggest mistake that I made when I became a reseller was not telling people that I'm a reseller. There's a misconception around reselling, isn't there? Some people don't like us, and it gets you a little bit nervous. But the best thing I did after that was knowing that people actually don't care. People like it because they can flog their stuff off to you. And the more people that are aware of you starting a reselling business, friends and family might actually start to give you things to sell that aren't going to cost you anything because they want to help you out. They want to see you grow. They want to see your business expand and you do well. A lot of people shy away from that stuff. And the only thing I did was actually start making videos and make an Instagram account so I could converse and socialize with other resellers because I didn't really want to bring it into my normal life. I hid that from everyone. But now people are kind of aware of what I do and they see my journey on YouTube, and now they contact me when they have stuff. So hiding it is a bad thing. Going into thrift stores and denying that you're a reseller is a bad thing because some thrift stores are overstocked with quality items and they just want to move it on. If they know you're going to come in and purchase so much of it, they're going to offload it to you. I was very cautious with that sort of thing early days. Now I advertise everywhere on all different social platforms to get stuff. I advertise physically on business cards, letterbox drops and all that sort of thing. But seriously, the biggest mistake I made early days was not telling people that I'm a reseller. I think it's very important. If you are serious about your business and you want to grow, people need to know what you do. Yeah, 1 in every 50 people might call you a scumbag, but so be it. We're all scumbags, aren't we?
Scumbag. So that is a great tip, I think. And, you know, not to be afraid of sharing that you're a reseller with op shop, with garage sales, with people that you meet, and also with friends and family. Don't be afraid to let them know that that's what you're doing, because that will definitely, somewhere along the line, will lead to you either getting more stock or it will lead to doors being open. So great tip. Love it.
Hey guys, Samson here from the SAMSON TV YouTube channel. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I first started selling on eBay was trying to sell products that I knew absolutely nothing about. My mentality when I first started selling was basically, as long as I felt an item could sell for some good profit, I was going to try and flip it onto eBay. One day that led me to buying a whole heap of IT equipment from Facebook Marketplace. Once I had it home and listed onto eBay, I found out that the stuff I bought was basically worthless because it required a whole heap of different adapters and plugs to get it to work. Buyers were sending me all different questions that I couldn't answer because I knew nothing about the stuff. It turns out that it was practically worthless. That could have been avoided if I'd stuck to what I know, or at least stuff that I had some familiarity with when I first started reselling. Now, as you grow as a seller, you will be able to expand your horizons and sell a whole heap of different stuff in different categories in eBay, but whatever it is that you sell, be it clothing, electronics, video games, hard goods, stick to that when you first start selling on eBay. Stick to stuff that you have a bit of knowledge on, and then you can expand your horizons as you grow as a seller and you start to understand eBay and all the kind of stuff that you should know about an item before you start to sell.
Cool, guys. So there you have it. A few tips on mistakes that you can avoid if you're just starting out in reselling, if you've been reselling for a while, or if you're just thinking about reselling. Hopefully this information is just going to help you. Hopefully you don't make the same mistakes that we did. Potentially you might make different ones, but yeah, please do like and subscribe. And as I've said before, I am creating one video a week, hopefully more. Really enjoying making videos. Thank you to all the new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It would be great, and then you can know when I'm releasing a new video. But I look forward to the next video, guys. Thanks.